After Megan Walsh's arrest, Coronation Street has shown even more heartbreaking moments for Sam Blakeman as his mental health continues to deteriorate. Sam was the first person to uncover Megan's secret grooming of Will Driscoll and bravely exposed what had been happening. However, after being pressured into keeping quiet for so long, the traumatic experience has clearly taken a heavy toll on him. In a recent episode, Sam imagined Will violently confronting him in an alleyway, only for viewers to later realize the attack was entirely in his head. Tonight's episode featured two further disturbing scenes that highlighted just how badly Sam is struggling. While revising for his exams at Leanne's flat, Sam suddenly believed Will had appeared to threaten him once again. "You better be careful because I'm coming for you," the imaginary version of Will warned, leaving Sam visibly terrified. When Leanne walked back into the kitchen, Sam nervously asked whether she had heard the door slam, but she calmly explained it was probably just the wind. Feeling increasingly unsettled, Sam decided to continue his revision at the Bistro instead, though Leanne was clearly worried about him. Later at the Bistro, Nick informed Sam and Toyah that Megan had pleaded not guilty and would now face a trial in court. Toyah gently reminded Sam that nobody would pressure him into giving evidence if he didn't feel able to do so. Still overwhelmed with fear, Sam put his headphones back on and once again began hearing Will's voice in his head, convincing him that even his own family no longer believed him. Things became even more upsetting when Sam overheard Nick and Toyah discussing the restaurant's wine order. Although the conversation was completely innocent, Sam's hallucinations twisted their words into cruel comments aimed directly at him. In his mind, Toyah accused him of being jealous of Will and making false accusations, while Nick admitted he felt embarrassed by his son. Watching them through the Bistro's CCTV monitors, an emotional Sam broke down in tears and quietly admitted to himself that he felt completely alone. Can Nick, Toyah, and Leanne realize how serious Sam's condition has become before things spiral even further out of control? Summer's possible departure from Coronation Street moved a step closer tonight after Todd encouraged her to leave Weatherfield behind and begin a new chapter elsewhere. The past few months have been incredibly painful for Summer, especially following the tragic death of Billy earlier this year. Billy lost his life during the devastating Corriedale crossover crash when Theo trapped him inside the burning minibus, leaving him unable to escape before the vehicle exploded. Ever since the tragedy, Summer has relied heavily on Todd for comfort and guidance, completely unaware that he had secretly been struggling with his own trauma. For more than a year, Todd had been suffering in an abusive relationship with Theo without any of his family or friends noticing what was really happening. The abuse started with cruel insults and manipulation before becoming far more serious, eventually involving financial control, violent attacks, and sexual abuse. Shortly before Theo's death, the truth about how he treated Todd finally came out after George overheard Theo speaking abusively to him. Once the situation was exposed, Todd's loved ones immediately rallied around him, with Summer standing firmly by his side throughout the ordeal. During tonight's episode, Summer opened up to Todd and revealed that she had been offered a place at a university in America. Despite the exciting opportunity, she explained that she intended to reject the offer because she didn't want to abandon Todd while he was still recovering from everything that had happened. Todd strongly disagreed and insisted she should not throw away such a life-changing chance. He encouraged her to leave Coronation Street behind, move far away from the painful memories, and focus on building a better future for herself. His words appeared to convince Summer, particularly after Todd reassured her that he was genuinely happy and proud of her decision. However, her dream of studying overseas may soon be overshadowed by the ongoing investigation into Theo's murder. Theo's body was discovered earlier this year by Betsy during the soap's dramatic flash-forward episode. Although police originally believed Theo had taken his own life, investigators later uncovered evidence proving he had actually been murdered. In next week's episodes, George and Christina stumble across Summer's diary and are left shocked by what they read inside its pages. Meanwhile, Kit notices an important clue hidden in the background of Lisa's wedding photographs, potentially linking Summer to the case and resulting in her being hauled in for police questioning. The pressure intensifies further when George reveals what he witnessed on the night Theo died, while Summer later overhears Christina predicting that detectives will soon target her as a suspect. Fearing arrest, Summer secretly prepares to flee the country with a packed hold-all bag before Todd catches her trying to slip away unnoticed. Panicking, she admits that she believes the police are about to accuse her of Theo's murder and reveals her plan to board a flight to America later that same day. Will Summer manage to escape to the United States before detectives stop her, or could this mark the beginning of her downfall? Coronation Street's Sarah Platt will face another emotional setback next week as the aftermath of her recent attack continues to affect her daily life and career. Sarah appears unsettled and distracted at the factory, prompting Carla Connor Swain to step in and insist that she take a break from work. But what exactly is behind Sarah's sudden change in behavior? Concern first grows when Fizz notices that Sarah no longer seems like her confident self following the violent incident. She later shares her worries with Carla, explaining that Sarah appears shaken and uncertain ever since the attack. Trying to ease the pressure, Carla suggests that Michael could help manage some of Sarah's responsibilities at Underworld. However, the idea immediately causes tension. Sarah takes pride in her role at the factory and struggles with the thought of someone else stepping in to handle her work. Unfortunately, matters quickly spiral further when Sarah makes a serious mistake while processing an order. Michael attempts to protect her by covering for the error, hoping to stop the situation from escalating, but his actions only make things worse as Sarah lashes out angrily. The confrontation at the factory soon convinces Carla that Sarah is no longer coping as well as she pretends. Afterwards, Carla gently advises Sarah to step away from work for a while and focus on recovering properly. However, Sarah reacts badly to the suggestion, clearly unwilling to accept that she needs help. Later, Carla discovers Sarah alone in the Rovers, drunk and trying to drown her frustrations. As the week continues, Carla calls Sarah into the office for another difficult conversation. She reveals that Michael will now oversee Underworld's latest contract and once again orders Sarah to take some time away from the factory. Carla believes Sarah is struggling emotionally and insists that taking a break is necessary for her well-being. Although Carla's intentions are supportive, Sarah may not see it that way, especially as she feels increasingly pushed aside at work during one of the hardest periods of her life. While many residents believe Sarah was attacked by the dangerous men connected to Jody, viewers already know the shocking truth. It was actually Jody herself who struck Sarah over the head before leaving her unconscious to later be found by Shona and David. Jody's web of lies continues to unravel next week as Daniel discovers she deceived him about Birdie. The situation becomes even more complicated when Shona exposes another lie after learning Jody has also been dishonest about her birthday. Coronation Street continues on ITV1 during weekday evenings and is also available to stream on ITVX.